Yes. Good morning, family. Hold on, let me turn this down real quick. Good morning. Let me see who we got in the chat today. We got that boy Tyson Houston locked and loaded. Let's go. Optic Rising, the Show FX, Matthew, Warren, Cozy, Dennis, Eric, Tobias, Drew, George, Tony, boy Free Zone, Lou in the building, brother Joseph, good to see you, my guy. We got Rel, that boy Reap. What's going on? We got Bakersfield, California in the building. Colombo, Sri Lanka, always locked in. Good morning, my man. We got Linda, Easy Pip Sniper. We got Jude, St. Jude in the building. Good morning, family. Listen, we do have CPI this morning, so we are live a little bit earlier than usual. Just letting a few of you guys funnel in, because I know we're a little bit earlier than we normally are, about a half an hour or so. So let's give everybody just 2 more minutes, and then we'll pull up the news. We'll talk about CPI a little bit. We'll go over some charts, catch some pips, and just have a good morning, family. So I'm gonna turn my mic off for just another minute or two, let this music rock, and we'll be with you in a moment. All right. I was enjoying that beat, no cap. This beat that's playing right now is up there. Is up there in this playlist, that's for sure. What's going on, family? Let me see who else we got on here. Let me turn this down a little bit. There's no echo. One second. All right, let's see. Who else we got that hopped in here? Good morning. Got New Jersey in the building. Let's see. Charleston in the building. Yes. Love to see it. So listen, family, it is 8:12 in the morning. It is Thursday, the 12th of January, and it is the first CPI release of the year. Pretty important release. So we are going to jump right into this. Let me pull up my browser real quick. And let's go head over to the economic calendar and take a look at what we got today. We've been talking about this pretty much all week. The markets have been pretty choppy. Let's just filter by today. Let's just keep this high medium impact. All right, so we've been talking about these inflation numbers all week, family. Pretty much kind of beginning on Sunday when we were looking at the overview of the week. But just to kind of give you guys a brief overview in case you have not been with us on earlier streams. Inflation numbers are coming out for the USD here. Widely expected to come out at about 6.5%, down from 7.1. We could actually see the graph here. Inflation has recently began to start trading to the downside, or releasing to the downside, I should say. And it's widely expected to take again another jump down to about 6.5%. This would be about a 0.5% change. As you guys know, as inflation drops, the Fed is more likely to become less aggressive on rates and, potentially even pivot to stop increasing rates. So when we kind of see this data and we see this forecast, we can only expect that if it does come out at 6.5, the US dollar will continue to fade off. Now, the one thing I want to make everybody aware of is even though this is widely expected to decrease from this 7.1, what's really going to matter this week, right, is how close we come out to the actual forecast. Because when you have a jump like this that's more than 0.5%, And I know it jumped 0.5% last time, but it is hard for CPI typically to sustain these kind of 0.5%, more than 0.5% decreases. So what we really need to pay attention to today is what this number comes out as in relation to the forecast, right? If we come out at, say, 6.7, 6.8%, that is still a decrease from 7.1, but the fact that it's higher than what the market was expecting may give the dollar a little bit more strength. So that's really what I'm looking at. I'm looking at to see if the market is maybe overpricing the idea of inflation decreasing. And that's what I'll be mostly looking for. Now, if this number comes out at 6.5, it comes out lower than 6.5, there'll be absolutely no reason to be buying the US dollar, right? The market will absolutely take that number and run with it. But it is my expectation that, I'm going to look for the less likely thing, which is it probably coming out at about 6.8, which again will still give some fade off to the dollar. But if we are overpriced, which I think there's the possibility that we are, some stuff may fade off. So we'll see about in 13 minutes here what this number comes out as. Before we jump into charts, I do want to give Abel and Kyle just a moment to say, what's up to the stream, and maybe even give some of their opinions on what they expect today. So Kyle, Abel, how you guys feeling, man?
Yo, what's good? Good morning, family. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I love CPI. Drop a 222 if y'all love CPI. Honestly, I'm just ready. We've been bearish dollar for I don't know, Skag, since maybe November. So, honestly, guys, you guys already know me and Skags. To be honest, I'm long-term bearish dollar, but just the fact that we are just priced in so heavily on bearish dollar, we haven't even had a retrace, to be honest. We've just been continuing down, and that's not to say that today we can't continue having bearish dollar again. That's a real good possibility, but just being me, I'm the type of guy where I like to play devil's advocate. I like to look in the opposite direction. I like to see where the market's going and play the rumor. And, that's something that Skaggs taught me as well. Honestly, guys, again, we are bearish dollar. We're going to remain there. But, to see a fade off and see a little bounce of the dollar, especially it about to sweep these lows right here, who knows if these lows is something that can be maintained, especially with the type of structure and momentum that we've been going in. I just feel like it wouldn't surprise me to see the dollar initially just sweep low for news, grab some liquidity, and just start going up for the rest of the day to start pricing back some of the imbalance that we left behind. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm hyped. Like I said, CPI is one of my favorite news releases, so hopefully we can go ahead and tack something nice today.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I'm just gonna be chilling. I'm gonna be watching to see exactly what comes out personally. I'm not in any trades right now currently, so I'm just gonna be seeing how the news release comes out, and then I'll be able to react based off the data and how the market starts to respond. So yeah, I'm chilling as well.
Lit. My guy Ray, how you doing, my man? I see you just hopped on the call. You want to say what's up to the family, give maybe a little expectation of CPI. I know you're not really the fundamental guy, you straight technicals, see what, you play with your ICs, but what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Doing good, man. Can't complain at all. I'm actually not in anything at the moment. So I kind of jumped the gun last night. I took a GU sell, but it actually went pretty well. I did get knocked out at break even for 40% of my position, but that's okay. So at this point, I'm pretty much watching as well. So I don't really see anything that really strikes my attention at the moment. But interested to see what happens this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys. It's if we just take a look at the DXY, right? Obviously, things been trending down pretty hard. We've been playing this for a long time. And you guys can even see on my analysis here, right? Just like kind of like what Kyle was saying, we are trading a bunch of below a bunch of lows, starting to head to maybe possibly some demand. So again, this kind of all aligns with what overall what I'm still looking for, right? Is we know that CPI numbers more than likely going to come out lower, probably going to again give the dollar some weakness, but it's really what's going to happen after that that's going to ultimately matter. Now the reason why I was on this oil chart, aside for the fact that I took a loss on this week, is that rebounds in oil will impact future inflation numbers, right? So if oil does continue this and starts clearing some highs as possible in the future, that things like core CPI maybe come out a little bit less on the downward trajectory. So just kind of something to keep an eye on if oil does want to grow some wings here and push up. We could expect future CPI readings to be a little bit different than what we're experiencing now. But yeah, I mean, as far as charts go, guys, EU, I'm not really in. I exited this last night. This has just been a mess up here. And again, I'm not looking to be in this pre-news. Again, if it spikes up further, I'll begin to look for, those sell-offs. That's been the idea all week. But after yesterday with these reactions, man, like, again, when we're playing in zones like, this, where we kind of took shorts in this area, we need quick reactions. We need breaks of structure. And it's just not what you got here, right? It just keeps flirting with the same highs. And look, just all this liquidity build up here is, again, more than likely going to get taken today. Again, there's certain release scenarios where that doesn't happen. But I'm not going to sit here and bet on that happening. I'm going to bet on this is probably going to spike up. Most of the market is trending the same way. I mean, gold, again, you can see the main idea here on gold is the same thing, right? We're expecting it to push a little bit higher, and then we can finally get that longer fade off. Again, maybe above, some of these highs. I mean, that's kind of a stretch. We might play just in between here, to be quite honest with you. But again, yeah, it's going to be more or less, depending on what this result is going to be, what my next step is. If the result comes out at 6.5 and all this stuff continues bullish, great. We're already positioned for that, or at least I am, and a few of us are positioned for that. In which case, we just do nothing. We just continue to happily hold our long positions, and we just kind of go from there. But if the number does miss and comes out, higher than that 6.5, I will begin to look to take low risk, low pip risk, I should say, because fading this is going to be, high risk of failure. But we will look to take low risk entries to see if we can maybe hedge some of our buys and get in on like what's going to be like a post news kind of fade off. So let's check in with the chat real quick, see what we got going on. We got Turks and Caicos.
Skag, if you don't mind, bro, I do want to hijack the screen for a second.
You could share, bro. You're not gonna impact what I'm sharing.
I need a co-host.
Oh, my bad, bro.
Nah, but honestly, y'all know me. I like taking some low risk stuff right before the news release. People may call me wild, but I'm in the EU sell. Honestly, like I said, I've been stabbing this thing a lot this week, and I've been getting out at break even a lot, and it's like it's now or never, to be honest, for me. I got a little 10 pip stop, and if you are in this trade, do not even put more than 0.5% risk on your account on this trade, because that's what I'm doing. So at the end of the day, if you guys are going to take something like this does have a high risk of failure. And, at the end of the day, I understand the risk of going into this. We can completely get wiped out after the news release. And there's a reason why I'm only putting 0.5% risk on my account on this setup, because like I said, like a lot of the educators just said, the news release could completely do some randomness, and then we can get the entry 5 minutes after the news release. That's something that happens a lot of times. You know, a lot of times we do get some weird spike, or, you know, we might even just clear these highs and then do something like this for the rest of the day. Who knows?
Bro, you're not worried about getting slipped. You scare me with it. Like, you're gonna get slipped, my guy, if that goes up. Just so you know, your 0.5% risk is gonna close you out at like 1.5. I'm gonna just warn you.
That's if we do clear those highs. The market does have a possibility of just dropping from here. That's why I like to take an entry.
What would you put in probability? Like, if you had to put a percent of success on that thing immediately dropping as CPI drops, what would you rate that? What's the percentage chance of success?
I would give it about a 30% chance of.
I just wanted to know where
it does have a 70% chance of failure, 70 to 80% chance of failure. It does, but you know, at the end of the day, I like taking this stuff before the news, because sometimes the news is the entry, and I don't like missing it, and I'd rather have a 0.5% than nothing. That's just, I don't know, that's just me. But at the end of the day, some people stay out, and, you know, like you and Abel, you guys are a little bit more conservative. I like to play devil's advocate.
Wow, did you just call me conservative? I'm losing my touch.
No, you are a degenerate, but sometimes you are conservative. So, you know, I know today is one of those days that you're gonna be conservative, and that's why I have to be aggressive.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you. That's funny though. I've never considered myself conservative. Yeah, no, I would just urge you guys to realize the invisible risk here, right? You can put a 10 pip stop loss, but I'm telling you guys right now, I know from experience, if this comes out and it's CPI is 99% chance not gonna come out higher, it's gonna come out lower. It's just a matter of whether or not it misses that 6.5. If just keep in mind, adjust your risk also for slippage. Like, Kyle's risking 0.5%. There's a reason for that, right? He's risking 10 pips, 0.5%. But if he gets slipped 20 pips, if they can't close his trade there, that will turn into a 1.5% risk. So for those of you that, you know, maybe a little bit more aggressive, taking 1-2%, I just want to warn you, for every 10 pips they slip you, it will double up your risk, and news like this will slip you. Just letting you know. I don't care what broker you have. You try to them all you want. You know, worst case scenario, you're gonna get slipped.
No, that's true. That's why I'm telling you guys to go very light risk on this setup. Go very light risk on this. I do this just to have an entry. Like, that's the thing. We could always add on to our EU sales later on. We don't know if this is the top or not, you know. So at the end of the day, let's see. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna update you guys as such. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, it's either gonna drop from here, or it's now or never, to be honest. That's how I'm looking at EU. I'm probably just gonna wait until after news and see what's up, and I'll update you guys as such. We literally only have about 2 minutes, so
yeah, we about 2 minutes out.
You know, maybe it can come off.
Jay, I'm no longer in EU, bro. I'll be honest with you. I got out of my EUs overnight. I also got out of oil overnight. The only thing I held overnight from this week was GJ. Just so you know, if you're trying to hold with me, I exited. I took my smaller loss on EU. I was not looking to mess with this before news. So let's see here. We got 2 minutes, Kyle. I'm gonna hijack real quick.
Okay, we definitely got stopped out on that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Playing free news, man. I'm actually happy you got hit on that before news.
Oh yeah, because if it was during news, then
yeah, you would have got slipped. You might have even got slipped on that a little bit.
No, I did close me at my 0.5%.
Got 1 minute here. Let's see what happens. Actually, family, I'm gonna keep you guys on this screen on the DXY. I'm, however, going to just tick over to see the actual result here on the calendar, and I'll let you guys know what that is the second it drops. So let's see, we got about 30 seconds here. Again, family, what this comes out with would drastically affect what I'm going to do. If we come out at 6.5% or lower, I will be continuing to ride my longs. If we come out at 6.7 or higher, I'll probably look to fade some of these pairs. Let's see, and the result is going to be, so I got like 8 seconds, 4 seconds, 3. Let's see what we got with, of course, this doesn't want to update. 6.5, wow, it actually came out at 6.5, oh my god. Actually came out at 6.5. Let me just double check my sources. Yeah, 6.5%, core CPI 5.7. Wow, they came out as forecasted. So yeah, I'm probably not going to look to fade anything, to be quite honest. I'm going to watch some reactions here out of the market because this is most definitely an on results type of news. What else just came out? What else just dropped? What was that? What was that sound?
Now, you know what's crazy? EU, man. EU claims literally just owed us. But
well,
GU, you guys, GU just played so clean, man. I'm so mad.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe this spike down though, because the result did come out at 6.5. So I think the smartest thing for me to do is just to do nothing and continue to hold my positions. Abel, how you feel about this result, my guy?
It's interesting to say the least.
Yeah, that's 6.5. See how this is already turning around? I don't know if I trust going into the dollar. Yeah, see, even look at gold. As I'm telling you guys about, when you get that 6.5, what this is telling us now too, again, with this consistent inflation drop, the Fed is going to look at this again, maybe not immediately, but they're going to look at this as continued data, right, to continue feeding into those 50 basis point hikes, possibly even sway them towards a 25.
Yeah, my guess is they're probably going to start leaning towards 25 sooner than later now at this point.
Yeah, I would say maybe one more 50. Because what is our... 1 second, let me see. Because are we at the point where interest rates and inflation are kind of getting close? Yeah, we are. Yeah, so inflation is now only 2% higher than the interest rate. So if we do another 50, we'll be at 5%, and then we'll get another CPI, which will probably dip again. Yeah, so we're like 1 or 2 readings away from the Fed really beginning to get off the gas on this. So let's take a look at some of these charts, see if we spot any opportunities. Again, I don't really want to buy the dollar, and I'm not really in the position of looking to go long up here either. So it might be just a dud day where I don't really do anything, to be quite honest. Let's just jump around. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. We never got our additional trade down here. Let's see, what did GJ respond with? More down. Yeah, family, I think we just hold our trades. I think we're good. For those of you that are long NASDAQ with me, you know, let's see what happens at the open with this. This might still come down and grab some liquidity. I'll probably see if NASDAQ wants to come down to this level down here. This would be like the only logical space for me to look at continuations on NASDAQ. If it continues from here, so be it. I'm just not interested in that. We probably should have took the buys on the wipe of this range, but I was trying to be super greedy. And in this case, I'm gonna try to be super greedy with my re-entries. But yeah, family, I would again see, look at EU. All of this stuff is going to probably continue to trickle to the upside because this is, again, bearish news for the dollar. Again, not a result that I think that I personally want to play. UJ is probably sinking, yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely more bearish dollar than anything.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, you're not gonna see any bullish dollar come in.
No, it's gonna bring a lot of optimism.
Yeah, see a lot of optimism for that matter.
I mean, I'm still torn on what I want to do. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna be looking too long a dollar right now. It just doesn't make sense at all. Now it's just a matter of seeing we might be able to get a little pullback to catch on maybe some of these moves. that are playing dollar strength. That's
what I was looking to see if
not-
there was anything that was lagging. Do you have anything on your chart, my guy?
That's what I'm looking. I don't see. I mean, not dollar strength, but like dollar weakness is what I'm really trying to just continue to ride out, because I think that's what's probably going to happen the remainder of the day, probably the week. Now with this type of release, but I don't really see anything. Right? We've missed our opportunities with these spikes up. Like, I was so
Yeah,
close
if you were
to-
gonna, I mean, USD CAD here looks really nice. Like this was probably the best. Like I probably wouldn't have taken EU. Again, gold I'm already, like a lot of stuff I'm already in. But this USD CAD was actually probably a pristine setup with the spike above here into the little compression and imbalance fill. Like this was probably the best thing you could have taken. But again, we've kind of positioned you guys earlier in the week for this stuff already. So
I'm kind of upset I didn't pull the trigger when gold dropped the way it dropped, man. Especially
Yeah.
off of that news. Like,
I mean, I'm already in gold, so I didn't really have a reason to push.
yeah, I'm pretty sure me and the rest of the community though has been waiting for another entry.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
Pretty sure 90% of people in the chat right now are still looking for entries as well. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are looking for entries, family, we just got to be patient now. If we are able to see again, because this just happened, right? So it's very common for this to happen like this, possibly give us a nice little pushback down, or push back up, depending on what asset you're looking at, to look for some continuations. But I'm personally going to be playing dollar weakness off of that type of release. I just got to be patient and see if we are able to get some type of a re-entry or an entry.
I think our best play might be indices, bro. If the indices open and the indices maybe give us a little bit of a pullback, that might be because like these are still not open. So there's maybe the opportunity that these, I don't know, maybe fill this wick or do something this morning. That would be like, I think our best play would be to eye these. I just want to see how sustainable this stuff is going to be going into the open. Because again, like I am, you know, again, the news is very supportive of a bearish dollar.
Yeah.
But
That's a fact.
if for some reason these do, even on a technical basis, you know, pull back below these ranges, I might look to go long dollar. But I would need to see these things close kind of hard in order for me to support that.
That's like the most, and that's, I mean, besides the news, from a technical perspective, long in the dollar just made so much sense. All right, just because all the built up liquidity that we can go ahead and target, but it's just gonna be tough. I mean, how many of you guys in the chat, family, who's in trades? If you're in a trade right now, drop a 3 in the chat. If you're not in a trade, drop a 4 in the chat. All right, let's just gauge the community real quick. Let's see who's actually actively in a position and who's not. I know I'm still on the sidelines.
Yeah, drop what you're into, for that matter.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That the degenerate in me wants to still fade this.
Me too.
But yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, again, from a technical perspective, I see it.
Yeah, I know, but like the fact that
Like the technicals look so good, but it's like the data is.
It's tough.
yeah,
I mean,
but that's
even
why
the
that's
data could
why
be
that's
lagged
why I
too,
want to
like,
take it though, because a lot of the market probably looking at the data right now.
yeah.
I don't know. You guys know me. Sometimes I get a little.
Hey man, you could get a little whenever, bro. We ready.
You know, I'm gonna just wait for 9:30. But I'm telling you, I'm keeping my eye on this stuff up here because there's not much volume behind these moves. I mean, on the 1 hour there is, but again, like this volume is not. It's like we're not superseding anything. Yeah, this wouldn't be the first time that I fade news, even though the data supports one thing or the other. Again, like I would warn too that, you know, with oil coming up, maybe this. Again, like now we've had 2 CPI readings, both over 0.5%. Both over 0.5%. It's like, what's the likelihood that really continues the next meeting? Pretty high, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough,
statistically speaking, but
it really is tough to really decipher the fundamentals right now, guys. Just because, I mean, there's just a lot going on.
Again, like this is my bias though. Like this is like I just look at my arrows and I say, okay, like I kind of was expecting, like even on gold, like it's like, okay, like if you give me this wick fill, I might have to just try off a technical basis, just because. But yeah, we'll see what happens at the open, family. I'm not going to touch this personally until the open. Like this 15-minute candle, we're not even 15 minutes past news, so I'm gonna sit here and wait. For those of you guys that are in this GJ trade with me, though, we will continue to hold this. I know this thing has been massively annoying. We spent a lot of time up here, retested entry multiple times throughout the week. But again, we had our stop losses in place. We were trading, with the overall trend of GJ, trading based off the fundamentals here. We will continue to hold this. We are up about 250 pips on this. You should be at break even, remove your risk, and we're just going to look to hold. And as you guys know, we are going to look to see, how far down we can go. Typically, I am looking at that 149. All right, still holding longs from 169, looking at 149 total. But let's check out the chat real quick. Let's see what a bunch of people put. There's a bunch of fours in the chat. I take it the fours where you're not in a trade. So we got some threes. Eric's in a trade. Just GJ. Kevin's in NASDAQ. 3 just sniped GU. UJ. Yeah, so it looks like the people that are in trades are just in GJ. Gold long.
Let's see.
Got in gold at the top like a degenerate. Yeah, this boy Alex said he got in. Yeah, bro, I feel you. I don't even have anything on the 5-minute or anything to really confirm entry on this, so I'm just gonna stay away from any sort of position. Again, what I wanted is I wanted CPI to miss, because that CPI missing was the only thing that would have given me an executable entry. The fact that CPI came out as it is just more fuel for the fire of my long-term swings, which again, that's to Abel's point, for the majority doesn't help you guys, because people don't hold trades 4 or 5 months like I do, at least yet. I'm gonna have y'all all on that wave, whether you like it or not. Let's see, do we have anything else today? Just to make sure at 10:30 we don't have any news. Let's see what else we have on the news docket. No, natural gas storage. Yeah, nothing else today. The yen's got some news. Yeah, that's really the end of the week for the news. Let's see what we got in chat. GJEU, Bitcoin, and Ethereum sells. You're in Bitcoin and Ethereum sells? I'm in Ethereum buys. Yeah, I would tell you, if you, again, with those of you guys that are trading this US dollar pairs to the downside, I really would ask you what your confirmations are. Like, aside from the fact they're grabbing liquidity, aside from the fact they're trading very high, aside from the fact, like, the fundamentals are not in alignment with you. And you guys know we have strict focus on fundamentals. So
they coming to hunt your stop loss, Skags.
What?
You're coming to hunt that stop loss, Skags.
On my ETH?
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah, good luck. I'm in from like 11.50. I'm in from down here. Good luck coming from my stop loss. I mean, some people would say my entry is at risk because they'd be like, oh, you got the double bottom. Or you got this liquidity buildup. But like liquidity buildups like this, guys, you got to understand, more times than not, they will sit there for a long time. And if you don't believe me, let me show you. Oh, maybe I didn't have to go that far. Right, it's like the same type of liquidity buildup that I entered in way. For me finding this on the 1 hour is gonna be like a giant pain, but right, it's this same type of liquidity buildup, right, where you have that bottom, you have the liquidity buildup. It usually doesn't come back. All right, not every liquidity buildup is meant to be taken. So it's like if you're looking at that on EU, right, that same thing down here or wherever it is, all this liquidity build up with this low, it's very likely it doesn't come back there. So, to each their own. Again, you guys could do whatever you want to do. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're just here to tell you what we're doing, what we see, and how we react.
But we're not even seeing too much of a follow through either. I mean, it's only been 15 minutes, but
yeah, that the follow through has been. Yeah, you're right. It has been, and again, look at EU. EU's now back below.
that's what I'm saying. It's been very.
I took AU sales a few minutes ago.
It's been very whiplashes.
That's what I'm saying. From a technical perspective, I could see playing in that liquidity. I mean, gold hasn't really moved. What's Nasdaq doing? Yeah, what we're really gonna have to see is what these next hour candles come out as. Look, see, like EU right away, like in the matter of 1 minute. Look, like, so it's like, again, you might get these little like profit taking spikes, but again, the news doesn't support it. So we'll see. Ray said he took AU sales. Let me go just see if I see what Ray sees. I know this boy playing some sort of liquidity pocket up here. Swipe to this side. Did we swipe that? We did. Now let me see. There's a bunch of imbalance in there. What some people would call an OB. Yeah, I mean, on a technical basis, I can understand why some people are gonna push the button. Again, it's for me. I would rather be late. I would rather be late to the sales. Like, I don't like this. These can completely erase this move and come all the way down here, and then I'll just catch the next entry. Like I would be fine with that, because that's just so much safer than me trying to like gamble at the tops here for no reason.
Yeah,
but
I have a question.
I definitely see why people are trying.
I have a question for y'all too that I was just thinking about, right? Because obviously when we're looking at fundamentals, that's more so a macro outlook of the market, where technicals, especially based on the time frame, is more micro. Since right now we're trying to play more of a micro type of move, would you guys hold the technicals has more weight than the fundamental impact? Because we could very well still sell off AU, EU, gold, dollar could still gain some strength, capture some of this liquidity a little bit lower or a little bit higher for the dollar's perspective, and still follow through with the fundamental bias next week type stuff, right? So like, what is your guys' thought process on that?
I need to see how things close before I commit to that. But I do agree with you, because there is oftentimes, again, because like what the market could look at this as is just, again, a further opportunity to take profit, right? Like for people like me that are swinging, like, if you're gonna look at areas to scale out, I mean, like, a breach of major daily liquidity, which is basically what you're grabbing right now, is a good opportunity to use that liquidity to exit. So yeah, like I could see us again flirting around up here, then fading off just to continue higher next week. But I don't see anything on the lower time frames quite yet that makes me really want to just push the button.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. But I'm sure Ray's got an interesting outlook on that.
Yeah. I mean,
At the end of the day, I'm just getting the data in. I gotta get my wins and losses in so I can get closer to my profits. So I know there's gonna be some inevitable losses here and there, and I'm just willing to, again, push the button so that way I can just get my data in. Like I'm like, how many trades can I take when my edge presents itself, when I have a worthwhile edge and a worthwhile confirmations popping up and presenting themselves to me. So, that's why I'm like more of a technical guy, I guess you could say, because, I know news just released, but at the same time, I know I just popped into a higher time frame, buy the sell candle where I could see some liquidity be grabbed, and I can also get my my setup. So, obviously anything can happen, but that's the type of approach that I have in the markets, that anything can happen. So I'm not gonna look more for reasons not to trade rather than just getting in where I see a position and seeing what happens. So, As long as the risk to reward is in my favor and liquidity has been grabbed, because I didn't want to take this early. The fact that I did see those weak highs get taken on AUD USD, then we pushed into a daily or 4-hour and a daily area that also swept liquidity. I mean, it just lines up with my technical approach. Like, I would take this if it wasn't a news release, so I don't see why I shouldn't just because it was, and especially now that the release is over. So that's just my ideology.
Yeah, no, that's interesting in what you said. So you're pretty much just relying on the probabilities of your strategy being more times accurate than not. Like, and that's really how we should be as traders, right? It's really just depending or just trusting in the fact that your strategy long term is going to be profitable, and just using, the markets, and just taking every single chance you got. I mean, if everybody really thought like that, then people will have a lot more success, right? Understand that this is a game of probabilities, and you got to just trust your edge more than not, and just take every single opportunity that you see that comes up. So that's dope.
Yeah, I agree. I would just, again, make sure you actually have an edge. Like, Ray knows he has an edge, right? He knows even if he takes a loss today that in the longer term he will come out profitable, right? Don't just blindly take trades without knowing that you have an edge.
And
Yeah, well, it's interesting to see what we'll have up here. Again, like, my trading plan incorporates news too much for me to, say, oh, well, the news is over, so it no longer matters. But you are right. Like, at this point, the market is no longer looking past CPI at this point. That's for sure. So again, we'll see what we get. I would love to take fades with you guys. I just want to, again, make sure it's the appropriate time to do so. I need a little bit. Like, I just have no confirmations here. Liquidity is one thing, but I do need to see.
Yeah, you know me, I'm also more heavy fundamentals as well, which is why I'm being a little bit more patient. But like, if you were to take some type of jabs, like, the risk to reward is going to be so favorable on your side if you are trying to go ahead and, play dollar strength again. I mean, like, we're playing at the extreme highs already. All right, so
Yeah, I mean the risk to reward is definitely great. I would say the chance of failure is also very high, though. So
Yeah.
gotta balance it out. Again, remember, guys, I always talk about that with you guys, right? What's the chance the trade just fails, right? That's why I asked Kyle, like, what's the probability that this trade actually succeeds and holds? Like, is it like tell us, like, is it high risk, is it low risk? Like, are you expecting, like, so for me, like, that's all little things that matter. But this is what I love. I love the little differences about how we trade. Let me just catch up with chat, because there's a bunch of questions.
they say
here.
Biden's talking today. That can't be good for the dollar.
Yeah, well, well, put it this way. Well, it all depends if Biden's even able to formulate his sentences. So,
Exactly what I'm saying.
yeah, like,
That's
like,
fact. Not even gonna say nothing.
I mean,
with sense.
all he's
We'll
going
have
to do is try to take credit for
Yeah,
inflation, turn it lower.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
that's all he's going to be saying. Oh, yeah, guys, I told you. We're headed in the right direction. And then Jerome Powell's going to talk one of these days and say, wait, we're not there yet, guys. So much contradiction that happens in politics and the people that actually make the decisions, which is why
Trust
these
me.
markets are crazy.
all he's probably gonna talk about is how much you don't need a gas stove. Because that's what the government is focused on right now. They're not, they're not worried about anything else. They're arguing over stoves and other intricate things that the general public doesn't even care about. But
Wait, are they
they're,
really
they're
though?
making all these nonsense things. If anything, let's whether you're Republican or Democrat, let's support the Republicans in their bill to abolish the IRS. I feel like we should all throw support behind that regardless. Like, let's just.
Are they
I'm
really
down with
talking
that
about
bill that
stoves,
gets rid
bro?
of income tax and stuff like that. Like, I'm in support of that.
Wait, are they really talking about gas stoves though? Like, for real, for real?
No, for real. They're heavily pushing the idea that it's gonna be. So they're not gonna make you get rid of your gas stove that's already in your house, but all new builds on a federal level will require electric stoves. And I have an electric stove. Let me be the first person to tell you, gas is superior. Like, if you've ever cooked between the two, you should know. Like, shout out to all my New York people that moved down south and had to go from the gas stove to the electric stove. Y'all know how it is. It's not the same. It takes longer. I swear water takes like double the time to boil. But again, you know, we could argue over this all day. Let me see though. There were a few good questions in the chat. I think that people had. I don't remember where they were here. A few people said they want to learn how to trade, hold trades longer. It's not something that you guys learn. It's something that you just do. It's just the act of doing it will make it become easier and easier, right? I would say, you know, learning how to trade on a short-term time frame and learning how to trade on a long-term time frame are the same thing. You know, if you're trading 4-hour sweeps of liquidity, well, then your take profit should be based off the 4 hours. So that should take longer for you to achieve that. It's really just patience and discipline, man. If you have patience anywhere else in your life, and I like to use, you know, your job and potentially kids as like a gateway to that. Like if you have patience with either of those two things, you should be able to have patience with trading. Somebody says, has jobless claims news done anything to the market? Me personally, I don't care about any of the jobs numbers. I know Abel looks a little bit more into detail with that and what the Fed's gonna do. I don't particularly think it matters too much, but yeah, Abel, you got any insight to what the jobs numbers came out as?
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. And again, I'm very big on all types of data, all right? Because especially when it comes to the Fed and, you know, if they're going to make some type of decisions when it comes to policies and things like that, like they're taking into account all the data, right? Not just CPI, not just one or the other, which is why I like to just be aware of that. But overall, I don't think the jobs report itself had too much weight in this market. I'm looking at it right now to see what it actually came out as. U.S. jobless claims, 205. Survey was 210. All right, so it came out a little bit lower, I believe. Yeah, it came out lower than what they were I mean, it's hot. Yeah, it came out lower than what they were forecasting. But that report, the one that I'm really going to be more so focused on, I just like to keep up to date with the unemployment rate more than anything, especially when we're talking about jobs. Like the initial jobless claims is a weekly report, all right? So a weekly report is going to change pretty fucking frequently, excuse my language. But I like to rely on more so the unemployment rate, because that's really what the Fed is actually looking at, right? All these other little jobs reports, yeah, they hold some weight, but it's the unemployment rate that they're really focusing on. And last week, we actually seen the unemployment rate drop, right? It went from 3.6 back down to 3.5, right? So the labor market is still extremely strong. And that's gonna weigh into what Jerome Powell actually does, right? That's gonna weigh into the decision on if they do want to do a full pivot in terms of interest rates, right? And us still having a very strong job market, very strong labor market, it's probably going to make them continue to raise rates until we see, you know, inflation at a much lower level, probably closer to that, you know, 2, 3, 4% level, just so they do have confidence that it's finally behind us. But with a strong labor market, it's still very, very hard to say that it's completely behind us, because people are still hired, which we already know there's millions of jobs that are still open. So people are still going to always have opportunity to find employment, which means they're still going to be spending at the end of the day, no matter what interest rates. You know, we live in a consumer-based economy where people are just so happy to spend. So it's just things like that they definitely take into account when they're considering. But I'm over here going through the Twitter sphere, just seeing what's going on Twitter, seeing what they're saying on Twitter in terms of like a bunch of these analysts. And I believe they actually had a Fed member, Harker, pretty much give some statements, right? So like there's statements right here where they said the Fed is likely to raise rates a few more times in 2020, which is something we already expected. They also said time for future Fed rate hikes to shift to 25 basis points, which is what we also pretty much are starting to head into. But one thing that I just read as well that was pretty interesting. Where is it? I read that there's like about a 16% chance now, right? The market is pricing in a 16% chance of a 50 basis point rate hike in February. It's only 16%, which is kind of crazy.
So whoa, so wait, what's the so what are they expecting? A 25?
Yeah, based off this type of release, they're now expecting, you know, possible just continuations of 25s for the next 3-4 releases or so.
So in other words, I'm never going to be able to close these trades, huh?
That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like.
Because it's never going to be worth it for me to close these. I'm going to just pay a swap until I die.
Yeah, like that's all they're saying right now, at least from the Fed members. They're saying eye-popping inflation arenas are now likely in the rearview mirror. The days of 75 basis are surely behind us. futures tied to the Fed policy rate implement about 100% chance of a quarter point Fed rate hike. See, like that's futures tied to
and that's
the Fed
coming from
policy
Fed
rate.
members themselves. You're saying.
Yeah, from Harker.
So family, like, listen, like, you see what's happening, right? They're telling you straight up. These are like, this is what I'm saying too. Like, a lot of people think the things that I play are rumors. They're not really fully rumors. They're just like little comments that people overlook. But most people probably didn't know these comments were even made, and they're probably not going to be put in any articles.
Facts.
So yeah, again, this is what I told you guys. If it comes out at 6.5%, going along the dollar is not going to make logical, fundamental sense.
Yeah,
again, we
it's
can look at
tough.
the technicals. There's reasons to maybe look at it, but
Yeah, no, that's tough. It's just so tough, especially how aggressively we dropped. Like, again, that is another, 50 basis point drop in inflation. Like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, now we're seeing clearly that not only are we trending lower, but we're trending lower pretty aggressively, which means that the rate hikes that they did do throughout all 2022 is clearly showing that it's working. All right, so now we really do got to not just start thinking about a 25 basis point rate hike for the next few cycles, but when is the actual stop going to occur? All right, because once they fully stop raising rates, then yeah, these markets are going to rebound super aggressively.
yeah,
So-
and it's all that forward-looking data, right? Because listen, there's been a lot of, again, I'm used to this, right? As like a person that plays in the field of the future. But it's like, even when people look at cryptos, like, I'm a part of a lot of crypto groups. You guys know I like to gauge the public sentiment by looking at public forums, right? So I love to look at public crypto groups. I love to look at Twitter. I love to look at like the Trading View chat. I love to look at other trading communities and just get like the bias of people. And again, like yesterday, there was somebody that wrote in like an Ethereum group, the largest Ethereum group on Facebook, and he's a moderator, and he's again saying that this stuff's gonna collapse because we're headed towards recession. But like, the thing is like, he's so blinded by what's happened over the past year and a half that he doesn't see where the next year and a half is going. Right? Like, don't be so blindsided by what's been going on the past year that you're missing what's happening this year. Like, it's obvious, right? Like, people say like, oh, interest rates are high. Yes, they are high, but the Fed is looking to, they've been looking to get less aggressive. And when they're looking to get less aggressive, right, investors that are, have been on the sidelines and been, waiting for that are going to start jumping the market. That's why every single day for the past like 2.5 months, I've been automatically buying crypto and stocks. Automatically, every day,
Facts.
pulling from my
That's a
account,
big
every day,
fact.
every day. I don't care about the prices. I don't care that this stuff comes up. I don't care that I'm buying it at the high of the week. Don't care. Give me more. Because I see where the fundamentals are shifting. I'm not looking to get a return right away. And for the most part, a lot of the stuff that I accumulated down here is already up 20%. And we haven't even remotely gotten started. So again, guys, like, use the fear of the public. Again, like, you guys know this. It's like a lot of you hear this. Buy the fear, sell the greed. But when the fear gets here, nobody wants to buy. When the greed gets there, nobody wants to sell. And again, like, I've been trying to warn you guys about it. Does that mean that this won't correct and we won't come down and see lower prices? That's not what that means, right? I hope we do, because I want to scoop more positions down here. But yeah, guys, just be aware of what these Fed members are saying. Be aware of the data that's coming out, because it does matter, and it does make trading a million times easier.
100%. Now, just so you guys are aware, that does not, just because one Fed member, even though again that is the president of the Philadelphia Fed, just because he's saying it doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to completely see 25s. He is starting to make those hints, which is what Skaggs has mentioned, right? Those hints. Do not overlook the hints, right? Because again, him saying things like that could be the reason why the market could also be spiking up and continue in its direction the way it's going. Hold on, baby, I'm on the phone, mama. All right, so again, just I personally, I'm listening, I'm seeing the hints. I'm gonna be positioning myself to take advantage of certain assets because of these hints and because of just the trend of inflation itself. But it's just the way the market works at the end of the day, man. You got to really start to read between the lines.
Yeah, that's a fact. AJ is asking me, are my swap fees once a week or every day? Swap fees are every day, my guy. So they charge you swap every day, and they charge you 3x swap on Wednesdays and Fridays. So on Wednesdays and Fridays, it's actually even more expensive. So yeah, you pay swap 5 times, but it's really like paying it like 8 or 9 times by the time the end of the week comes around.
Yeah.
But again, typically speaking, if you have the right direction, swap, again, it is not, generally speaking, not an issue. For Ethereum, it was an issue for me because I was holding for about like a month and a half before it like really began to move. Like, I mean, like it moved, but then it came back, right? So like at this point, when I'm already holding for like 26 days and it's like barely right above my price, at this point, like, yeah, swap is eating, 30-40%. Like I haven't told you guys, like over here, it was like, eating like 40-50% of my position. Now it's obviously much less. But yeah, swap in certain circumstances can be annoying. But generally speaking, swap is very cheap. It's like the equivalent of a few pips, each day. So, unless it's moving against you and/or not moving at all, it's generally speaking not too bad. But I am paying pretty handsome swap fees.
Handsome swap fees.
Yeah, no, I definitely have 3 and 4 figure swap fees on some positions.
Kyle, what are you doing over there, Kyle? What are you planning, my boy?
So I'm looking at the live OBs on EU and GU. If you guys look at the 5-minute, we just formed an engulfing on EU and GU. And if you guys know the live OB strategy that we talk about on the stream, me and Skags, honestly, we like to do stuff like this on the 5-minute, where all you gotta do is put your risk above that engulfing candle, and that's your live OB play. I have my screen share on it. I dropped the link in the chat once I took the trade. I'm really just risking the 5-minute OB candle, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna be done for the day after that because I already took EU shorts, I already took GU shorts, and it didn't play at the open of the news release. So now that the news has kind of died out and 9:30 open is coming into the market in about 25 minutes, I'm comfortable playing a 5-minute engulfing candle on EU or GU. I prefer GU, but at the end of the day, that is the only other thing that I do see for the rest of the day. And if that doesn't play, then we'll be back later to eventually fade this thing off. But
yeah, I mean the live OB is something that I definitely teach on, but I will make a little bit of a disclaimer. The fact that this is happening at the open of a brand new candle would make me very skeptical of it, because that 5-minute candle is the first 5 minutes of the new hour, so I would have fully expected it to test down. Again, could it work? Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. It's just not.
This is for the degenerates out there.
Yeah, I mean, but that is me. I am a degenerate. That is me. No, I see what you see though. Again, it's potential worthwhile. I mean, on GU you're risking what, again, 18 pips, but
yeah, they're both about 10 to 15 pips risk.
I mean, the good thing about these, especially if you do decide, like, you don't even have to try to swing for the fences, right? Right back down to
just
structure.
50 pips is like a 1 to 3.
I was gonna say, just back down to structure is gonna get you a nice 30, 40, 50 pip grab. So
this is for those that are just looking to make that.
Yeah, you can even make a 1 to 3 just coming to grab this liquidity.
Yeah,
but again, that's if you want to fight the momentum. It's just, specifically speaking, to each their own. As long as you have your rules.
For you guys that don't know what that is, I know there's a lot of new people. The live OB basically means whenever we see an engulfing candle on a lower time frame just form, that is our kind of definition of a live OB, and our entry is at the open of the engulfing candle, and the stop loss is right above the candle, like 1 pip above.
Yeah, I mean, the true difference is a live OB is something that just formulated in the market, and a standard order block is something that's been sitting in the market. So this is fresh pricing. It just
exactly. We're not trading something that.
Yeah,
like this,
the difference would be like if you were looking at like this, right? And again, like I'm not saying the sell up here. I'm just saying like if price were to come back up into this and play off of it, that would be just like a standard order block because this order block already existed in the market. Versus, that's potentially just forming now. But again, I would urge you guys to be careful of the new hour candle here.
Yeah, and obviously live OBs have less of a potential have more of a potential of failure than regular OPs. So, we do prefer playing regular order blocks and protected price action. But yeah, it's a degenerate play.
A few people have asked where we see crypto to come in the next weeks and months. Listen, I'm accumulating crypto. Take from that what you will. I don't sell crypto. I only buy, and I'm hardcore buying right now. And I'm only going to begin to hardcore buy more. I don't care what price it comes down to. I do not care. The halving is about a year and 4 months away. Less than a year and a half away. You're in the time of the cycle to be accumulating. Everything is aligning. The halving is coming up. The Fed is getting less aggressive. Interest rates, will remain high, but will eventually begin to, pivot to the down, start actually decreasing them. So, take from it what you will. All I'll say is I've been accumulating. I continue to accumulate, and I have no plans to get rid of any of this crypto before 2025, if I even get rid of it at all, which is, again, is unlikely. I'm a macro holder, incredibly bullish the space. I will always be incredibly bullish the space. I have been since like 2015, 2016. I only buy, and right now, that's what I'm doing. So, I mean, if you believe that it gets lower and then you can get a better price, then all the power to you. But I have automatic buys that go through literally every day at 3 p.m. So, that's going to be my perspective. And, there's not a single thing on the chart that would change that. Because the analysis is not really chart related. It's more cycle related, fundamentally related. Music hitting my life away.
All right, now just as a roll call, we are in a little bit of profit on GU. Can everybody drop a $sign if you are with me, so I can be sure to update you guys as such? I will give a little update for any of the trades I sent out. I know I did take a 10-pip loss on EU, but let's see how this runs. And when I go break even, I'll definitely let you guys know as such. I am going to be monitoring this 9:30 open very closely. We don't get the reaction I want to see, then I'll be letting you guys know to get out or go break even. Hey, yo, Ray, are you still interested in those AUD USD sales? Honestly, could be promising too.
Yeah, I'm still riding it, so we'll see what happens.
Yep, I'm rooting for the both of us today.
Somebody asked, any favorite cryptos?
Shiba
Yeah,
Inu.
I have a lot. It's a lot that I like.
Safe Moon.
No, just don't say Safe Moon. Not Safe Moon. None of those little things. If you want my top three, well, my top two are always gonna be Bitcoin and Ethereum, but Polygon / Matic, whatever you want to call it, is always gonna be Matic to me, because that's what it was when I bought it. It wasn't named Polygon, but Polygon and Matic, they have a lot of partnerships. They've got a lot of companies building on top of them. I'm talking the apps that you use every day, right? Facebook, Instagram, Google. They all have deep partnerships with Polygon. So you would be out of your mind to not have Polygon on your list of top coins to accumulate. All of Instagram's future NFTs and stuff like that will all run off Polygon. This is all confirmed news. This is not rumors. So Polygon is, again, probably my top pick if I had to give you guys one. I will make a disclaimer. I did buy Matic at a penny. I am a long-term holder from a penny, so it is 80-something cents. My entry is not even on this chart, but yeah, I'm a long-term holder of this. I do believe in what's probably going to be future $7 or $8 Matic. Big on it. So yeah, I can't say more than enough good things about Matic. Great partnerships, great team, great projects, great efficiency. Built on top of Ethereum, which is again another big bag of mine. So yeah, I would say Matic. I know Polkadot's another one that we look at, that we like. But to be truth be told, I haven't looked into what the developers are doing. I haven't looked into, any of the like real core fundamentals, like specifically for the cryptos yet. So, my favorite for the next bull run is probably something that I have yet to discover, and that actually excites me. So, yeah.
Now, it's crazy. A lot of you guys don't know, but maybe some of the people that's been tapped in trading with us for years now would know that my brother Skaggs called out Matic when it was at like 2 cents or something like that. So
yeah, a penny and a third, because that actually matters when it's
a penny and a third.
It does, yeah. We bought it at 1.0137, I think was like the actual what I put in like the Telegram message.
A penny and a third.
And Matt, listen,
Could
it
you
matters,
guys imagine
man,
getting
because for every penny and a half that it goes up, that's 100%. It matters.
Like, think about this, guys. Imagine getting into a coin at a penny, and that shit goes to $3.
I mean, if we go back to our group chats from years ago, I'm pretty sure we have a bunch of freaking projects that we called out over the years that are doing phenomenal.
Yeah.
Even
somebody
still,
asked about Cardano. I would throw Cardano away. It's not one of my favorites. I think Cardano is more hype than anything. They might surprise me, but I'll tell you right now, like 85 to 90% of the developers have abandoned Cardano in terms of like people that were building on top. Not the people that make Cardano. That might be true too. I'm not sure. But like 80 to 90% of the developers that were building contracts on top of Cardano have disappeared. So again, I put money, like when you talk about contracts that like smart contracts apps develop on top of, what really matters is who's building on it. Is Google building on top of Cardano? No. Is Facebook and Meta going to be using Cardano? No. They're building on top of Matic. So Cardano right away immediately gets thrown in the dumpster because it's just there's nobody building on it. Right? Think of it like this, right? Does anybody know why Apple won the phone war? Right? Does anybody know why Apple won the phone? Why did Apple, out of all these companies that were making smartphones, right? Why were they able to be so successful, right? Why didn't Android take off? If you think it's marketing, you're wrong, right? It's because of the developers. It's because of the developers, right? The developers were building on there, right? Who remembers how terrible Android Snapchats used to be, or Instagram photos, or any photo taken on an Android, right? It would look like pixelated garbage. Does that mean the phone was terrible? No. The reason they have terrible image quality was because app developers were building for iOS and porting over to Android. So the code wasn't like sufficiently, developed for Android. So Apple won the game because the developers were really what they had. They captured the developers. The best apps were on iOS. The best apps, everything that was built on top of it was better. So you got to treat crypto the same way. Who's got the better stuff? Who's got the more developers building on top of it? Because that's what's going to be successful. And this is what, again, history has dictated to us. So I'm just running the same play, but in crypto. Because I was mad young when Apple was winning that war. And I wasn't investing yet. So yeah, just consider that. What do you guys think about XRP? Is it a scam? No, XRP is not a scam.
That's so funny. Honestly, guys, you know what's crazy? I think XRP is a good coin long term, but it's like I don't even think it's gonna go bullish right now. Like it could
what
play
do you mean?
around.
It's like incredibly bullish right now, isn't it?
Think long term. It's like a lot of people are thinking short term with these assets though, bro. Like they want the gains tonight. Like I feel like you guys should buy and do not touch for 2 years. That should be your mentality.
Yeah, if you're not gonna hold past the halving, you're just out of your mind. But that's all stuff we'll go over on the crypto boot camp, to be quite honest with you. Thoughts on Algorand? Yeah, bullish.
Facts. We will have an in-depth crypto webinar soon.
You know what's crazy, man?
Altcoin plays. So stay tuned.
You know what's crazy, family in the chat? At the levels that all of these coins is at, like, don't be scared to take a risk in any of it. Even Cardano, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Cardano
all of these
will
go
crazy. So like, when the bull market does come back up 20 and near the end of 2023, 2024, if you're investing now, you're going to see some type of results. And that's just a fact. Like we're at such low ends of the market still that, again, the thing about the bull market is that you could pretty much randomly pick any coin and for the most part it's going to go up just because of the overall market as a whole dragging everything up. Right now, the overall market as a whole was dragged down to extremely low levels, so you could pretty much pick and choose. Now, I'm not saying go to like the 100th page and pick a random shitcoin, but anything that's in like the top 100, for the most part, as long as those developers are continuously improving and working on something, by 2024, they're going to be at much higher levels than they're at now, right? So just keep things simple like that.
Yeah, but make a note of what he said. As long as the developers are continuing to work, because there will be select few projects that don't come back, right? Shout out to things like Litecoin. Things that don't adapt are gonna die. There's a lot of stuff that we bought in the like Digibyte never came back, Redcoin never came back, Dragon Chain never came back.
Leave Dragon Chain out of it.
Dragon Chain.
Did they go up? Like, yeah,
bro,
they went up.
Bro,
Abel loves Dragon Chain.
I know.
Dragon
Abel was gonna rip into me right now. I know.
Leave Dragon Chain out of it. All right, that's my baby right there.
I knew Abel was gonna rip into me about the Dragon Chain.
Still got a lot of high hopes with my baby Dragon. I still hold a big freaking bag of Dragon too.
I wish. I think I still have some somewhere too. I gotta check.
Yo, Dragon Chain actually had went crazy for a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie.
It went nuts, bro. But then it completely just went the opposite way.
The thing is, like Disney, like the people that were like Dragon Chain had a lot of hype because people thought like Disney was deeply involved with it, and then once Disney kind of stepped away, it was like everyone was like, all the hype kind of went away. Again, though, technically proficient project probably can make some money off of it. Is it the thing that I would imagine would perform the best? No. But you don't need to pick the best performer. You just need something that's gonna, give you an ROI.
I was drastically up at one point, maybe 5x, but now I'm drastically down, probably around the same. But I'm still holding, baby. I got faith in Dragon. I mean, it's one of those projects where I put enough in it to where I don't even really care at this point. If it pops in the next 5-10 years, amazing. If it doesn't, it is what it is. I'll eventually write it off of my taxes one of these years when I decide to close.
That's a fact. Yep, exactly. Hold the bag until you need the write-off.
That's a play right there, guys. Don't let that statement I just said go over your head.
Yeah,
please.
No, that is a fact.
Yeah,
especially if the coin is still listed. I mean, if it's gonna get delisted, then yeah, take your loss that year. But if it's gonna remain listed, you might as well just hold the bag and get rid of it when it's most prudent too.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the wealthy play. You think that they truly take losses at the end of the day? Not really. They just write the shit off. I'm telling you.
So we do have Indice open about 8 minutes. Again, this stuff the follow through has been very lackluster, so it's really gonna depend on what the open happens with the open here. So for those of you guys that are on that GU EU, manage your risk appropriately. Kyle does have you guys in profits. I do know there was a good 15-20 people that were in it that dropped dollar signs. Hating on Dragon.
Yeah, I'm going break even after the 9:30 open, so about 8 minutes, guys. I'll be dropping it in the chat or I'll mute myself.
Definitely hating on Dragon. No, I ain't gonna lie.
Somebody said, "Can I express my opinion about Atari?"
Sure.
The Atari
Yo,
token.
What the fuck, man? Atari are...
Yeah, no, Atari's a trash token. I wouldn't recommend you hold that. Again, I mean, if you already hold it, it is what it is. See if it comes back in the next bull run. Don't dump it while prices are this low. Again, anything you're holding, give it faith in a bull market, right? See what it can do in a bull market, right? Because it might be able to give you at least an exit, better than what you're getting now. But Atari is, I wouldn't. Like, you gotta understand, companies like Atari don't need their own token. At least a token that has a fluctuating value, right? Imagine if Epic Games came out with V-Bucks, but they put V-Bucks on the open market and V-Bucks had a dynamic value, and you could buy skins in Fortnite with that wouldn't be effective for these kids can't have their V-Bucks fluctuating in value. Kids can't have their Robux fluctuating in value. These things could be built on top of chains, but they should not have their own independent value. That makes no logical sense, even from a business standpoint, on their side of things. So
listen, Atari's one of those projects that is trying to rely on their name being a well-known name in the past. Which,
Yeah.
if Atari was lit today, then maybe. But Atari hasn't been lit in like 20 years. I mean, as far as I know, I haven't heard of no Atari game systems.
Yeah, I mean, they might own a bunch of intellectual property that does, like, I forget what they maybe own. That
I think they own sand on. They own something on Sandbox.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they own land on. I mean, but yeah, that's like, I mean, even the dumbest NFT projects in the world own something in the same box. Like, that's what they raise money for. Is like they raise money to do that because they think it makes it. I don't know. Like, I mean, there is a possibility though that Atari, again, if they do build like a bunch of games in Sandbox, there is the possibility that, you know, they do build like a new ecosystem that we can't foresee, right? Because we're kind of basing it off of Atari's current success. Like, they really haven't done anything amazing, but if they can partner with Sandbox and Sandbox does blow up to be like a really popular like virtual world that people play in, like, yeah, there could be something there, but that's a pretty big bet to make because you're not only betting on Atari, you're also betting on Sandbox. But I would bet on Sandbox, to be fair. Sandbox is amazing. Another great project you guys should probably scale into.
Yeah, I see people asking about Shiba. Shiba is definitely going to be my favorite. If you want to call it a shit token, that's going to be my go-to for sure this year, Shiba.
Yeah, that's something you put a little something in just to see what happens.
I mean, you
don't go heavy investing, but
I'm not gonna lie, I'm going.
Abel and I missed out on the opportunity to make what was probably literally millions.
Oh
so,
yeah.
You know, we have a little bit of.
We're just sign blind by what we.
We have a little bird that let us know about SHIB when it just launched.
Yeah. I literally seen a guy go from literally 0 to $1 millionaire off of Shiba, which is kind of crazy.
And he told us too. And guess what? We didn't listen.
The thing about Shiba though, like, it's still one of the most talked about, one of the most hyped out project, even through the bear market. It's still usually in like the top 10 of accumulated coins and accumulated projects. And I see that they're actually doing a lot. Like, they're actually doing a lot in the back end as well, which is why for me, I'm getting involved. Like, I need to get in Shiba. Like, I need to take advantage of it for sure. So I'm at least making a bet on it.
I'll give them props. Shiba turned from what was essentially like the shittiest of shitcoins into a flourishing ecosystem. Now, can anybody tell me why that happened? I'm not going to. It was the developers. It's the same thing I've been talking. It was the developers, right? The community actually built something that may or may not be worthwhile in the future, right? They have a whole bunch of stuff. They have marketplaces now. They have NFTs. They have their own. Do they have their own chain? I know Doge. I don't know if Shiba went to its own chain yet. I know that was a goal of theirs though. But yeah, a lot of stuff happening. Let's switch back to NASDAQ though and stuff like this though, because the market is about to open. I see that EU and stuff is kind of rebounding. Again, like I said, guys, if this hour candle, if it starts to kind of wick to the upside, there is the possibility that it maybe starts to go bullish. I will say though, if this candle does close near the open and leaves a wick, I might be tempted at 10 a.m. to take some sort of test, you know, slightly above this area, to maybe go short. Because usually, generally speaking, when you leave a wick on both sides, or a wick on like the same side like this, and you kind of close like that, typically you'll end up filling it out. But we'll have to see. Again, like, I'm not really looking to execute on anything. And like I said, EU and GU again were already pretty short-lived because the first little bit of demand that came in is already, you know, pushing back. So we'll see if this OB wants to hold. I will say though, if this breaks the you know, the close up here by any means, this is going to be, again, smooth sailing to the upside. I see there's some people mentioning Hobain. Yeah, I haven't heard from him in a while. We don't really keep in communication. But, you know, you guys know how to find out all that information for yourselves. Will you guys consider that data the end of the bear market? I mean, I don't really consider markets ever being bullish or bearish. You know, like they're always bull. Because if you look at like Bitcoin long term, you can make a case for it, even with it dropping from 65 to 17. You could be like, oh well, structure held, so it's still bullish. But it's like, well, it fell 80%. Like, you know, so I don't really like to put labels on stuff. I usually say whether I'm bullish or bearish, the market is always doing what the market's supposed to be doing. Let me see what we got here. With a wick on SPX 500 after news, when we look for a wick fill, I always look for a wick fill. I mean, so like this wick, if you're talking about this wick, we will look for a wick fill, but because of the nature of the news, like the wick fills don't have to happen immediately, right? This is just going to be an area that we target when we do finally, and I know you said SPX, but it's all this, they all have the same wick. This is just an area that we would look at, you know, when we do begin to finally correct. It doesn't mean that immediately we'll go and fill this wick, especially a wick like this that, you know, takes, you know, some level of liquidity. Like, we're not going to expect it to keep playing with that liquidity, because if this liquidity doesn't hold, then the wick fill is going to happen and you're probably just going to end up continue to fall. So this will be like a future target when we do have enough data to sell off. But for now, it's just very simply liquidity grab on news, and we're just going to keep trading in the direction. So again, not all wicks fill. Again, if you get the wick fill concept from my course, again, that's also up in the lesson. You'll learn that. But just to tell you guys now, so you guys don't even have to go through that, is not every wick fills. You know, typically the wicks that we're looking to fill kind of happen just in the middle of action. They don't really sweep liquidity. So yeah, when it comes to like SPX and like NASDAQ, you know, do these fill? Yeah, maybe, but let's like actually see what happens here with the open, which is now live. All right, the indices are now open. I'm gonna go to the NASDAQ because that's what I prefer to trade, and let's see what kind of volume and reactions that we get.
Shout out to that guy Kosi, man. I appreciate you, my brother. All right, yeah. Now it's been a journey, right? Just being able to educate for the past. I've really been a teacher, Eric. Man, I'm a teacher, my brother. You know the vibes, but I've really been a teacher for like 4 years now, technically speaking. It's kind of crazy. But shout out to you, Kosi. I appreciate you, bro. But what's the markets looking like, Skags? Anything crazy?
Looks like I'm gonna continue holding long, man. Actually, how many of you guys are still in this NASDAQ? We took this NASDAQ trade on Friday, last Friday. I know there's a few people that were in the Discord. I don't know if you guys are on the call, but if you guys are still holding this NASDAQ along with me, we continue to hold this. No reason to close. If you guys want to scale off some profits, you could. I know I told you guys over here was kind of like the scale out point. Obviously, we're higher now, so if you haven't scaled out, do that. If you already did scale out, I would just continue to hold. There's no real reason not to. And again, like I'm still gonna look for this to push up to, you know, 12,800. Like there's no reason for me not to continue to look that way. Again, even if we do fade off and like fill this wick and you know do play to some degree, you know, something like this where, you know, even we do tumble over, like I'm gonna continue to hold. Right? That's just the game that I play. But as far as like the open's been pretty inactive. I mean, I was expecting a little more out of the first 5-minute candle. I guess we're only 2 minutes into it, so maybe I should just wait, but...
Oh, man, it's been a very back and forth morning.
Let's see.
But yeah, the market has been relatively choppy up here. How's our GJ doing? Let's see. Still pretty good. Yeah, still pretty good.
GJ was definitely the trade of the week that I did not take, unfortunately.
This was annoying all week though. Like I literally entered over here and like it's like really like two days of like nonsense. But yeah, it's finally starting to move. We'll see what happens. You know. We'll see what happens.
The crazy thing is, like, I literally predicted the entire move on the video that I dropped on my channel, my YouTube channel, and I still didn't even freaking take it. That'd be the worst.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah. But I don't know. What do you think about? I mean, I'm looking at this GJ now, and I'm gonna be honest. It looks actually pretty interesting to the upside right now from these levels.
I could see why people, again, like, I mean, you're clearing lows. You know?
Yeah, just clear lows.
It makes sense to come back and, like, retest, you know, this area. I don't think, I'm already in a sell, so I'm not going to look to buy it, but, again, I can see why people would be looking to, you know, potentially fade trying to see what these things want to do, because
Yeah, I could see us coming back up towards that 160 level. See, now that I'm looking at it, it should do look interesting.
GJ to 156.53. That's what our boy Mr. Vic Terry said. Shout out to you, my guy. I seen you tagged us on Instagram for something, so we definitely appreciate that. Oh, he's looking for 200 pips lower. I thought we were at 156 for now for some reason.
My guy Vic, are you still out there? Are you thinking? I think you're in Somalia, Vic. Where are you at now, Vic? Right. Shout out to you, and shout out to anybody too that is working in our military. I appreciate y'all so much for that. I show massive love to you, but Vic, I think you're in Somalia. You had told me, where you at, bro? Where you're being able to trade. That's dope. I think it was Somalia. I could be completely wrong though.
Yo, honestly, guys, I'm about to go break even on GU. As soon as we break 21770, which is about 8 pips away. So keep in mind, once we pass 21770, I'm going break even. And we're going to ride it out for the rest of the day. It's looking like the 930 Open gave me exactly what I wanted. So shout out to you guys that are in the GU, EU, AU cells that were not too scared to fade off the market when there was max fear. Like my boy Skag said, buy the fear, sell the greed. Whenever there's the max greed in the market, it's like, guys, like it looked like it wasn't going to play, but now it's playing out. So shout out to you guys.
Let's get it. How many pips you up now, Kyle? What are you up, like 30, 40?
Right now at about 35.
You know what's crazy? I'm not gonna lie. I did try to take that with you, but I ended up pushing the button on the wrong pair. So I
No.
mean,
my God.
It still went in the right direction though, because I ended up taking AU for some reason. But I'm not in it no more. I just grabbed a quick little 20 pips or so. Yeah, but I tried GU for some reason. It ended up being AU when I looked at it. I'm like, damn, good thing it still freaking should follow suit.
Hey man, this is why sometimes we gotta have the degenerates on the call.
I mean, this again, I'm all about risk to reward and probabilities too, right? Like if the risk to reward is there based off of a concept that we have tried numerous times, then why not? You know what I'm saying? It's all about them jabs in the market I've been talking about all week. You gotta take those jabs. Them jabs can turn into haymakers. Say, whoa.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, honestly, it's also good to show the power of consistency, right? I'm pretty sure there's a couple people that hopped on when we hopped on and took that 10 pip stop loss with us on EU and then just gave up and then just was like, F it, and maybe even hopped off their session, and now they're missing out on a potential trade that can pass a funded challenge in one trade with a 1-9. What's crazy is, like, I just got a message, and I'm gonna post it like soon. I literally just got a message from somebody on Telegram, and it was like, yo, I paid this guy $500 USD to pass my challenge for me with a bot, and after the couple of days, the bot went crazy in drawdown, and then like they blocked them and left the account and let it be. And it's just like, yo, like it's crazy how things like that are happening in this space right now. But it's like, don't get desperate, guys. Like all it takes is one trade like this to completely change your life and get you those funded accounts and those.
Yeah, it's crazy that they spent 4 times our membership price to get their account blown. That's nuts.
Exactly. Do not pay these high tickets
Great
to
perspective.
pass your account when you know that we have solid education that's going to help you do that for the rest of your life.
And also, let me just stress to the point. If you need to pay somebody to pass your funded account, what do you think is gonna happen when they pass it and give it back to you and you're supposed to trade yourself? I've never understood this logic. Like, oh yeah, do this. Like, it's like paying somebody to pass your driving test and then trying to like go on a road trip. Like what? Like it's just not gonna work. Like you're just not gonna have the experience yourself. So please, guys, please don't fall for that. There's no reason to do that. Like. I've even had people pitch that to me. They're like, oh, but we could pass it faster than you can. I'm like, what's the difference? Like, I can pass it before the 10 days. Like you have to do 10 trading days regardless. Like, don't Please, family, don't fall into that trap.
I hope they didn't overlook what you just said. Like, they can pass it for you, but when you get that live account, then what? Then what? Then what are you gonna do? They're not gonna
Yeah.
get you. They're not gonna get you fund. I mean, they could get you funded, but they're not gonna make you get paid. Like, that's the whole.
And to be honest, like, I mean, the live account's harder to trade.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you're gonna have more emotions. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel for the person that happened to, you know. And this is what we talk about with bots too, right? Bots are great until the one day that they're not. Because all it takes is a bot is one day, and those bots will go through a martingale strategy where they will continue to add to the same losing position over and over and over, and that's just the nature of a bot, right? Because we talked about the difference between AI and bots they don't learn from their mistakes, so the bot will make the same mistake over and over and over, and it could do the correct thing over and over and over. But it's like you got to look at the risk to reward, right? It's like, okay, cool. Like if the risk is that any day this thing could collapse, then what's the benefit really?
Yeah.
It's like joining a Ponzi scheme, you know. It's like, okay, I know that this is eventually gonna collapse, but like you're trying to get, like, it's just pointless. Like there's no reason to try to go for quick dumb money like that. So
yeah, I agree. It's just, again, the guys, these bots are usually designed to only trade in one set of market conditions. So when market conditions shift, it's still going to think that it's in those market conditions, and that's what leads to a blown account. So unless you actually have a bot that's able to adapt, which these EAs are not able to do, so that's where real AI needs to come in play, then you might as well not even waste your time, because market conditions are always changing, going from trending to range bound to I mean, it's tough, right? So just keep that in mind, guys, right? Unless you actually have one that's proven to be able to adapt to the ever-changing market conditions, you might as well not even waste your time.
Yo, AU is busting, by the way. If anybody was able to hop in that thing earlier about it.
Talk that talk, man.
Yeah, I'm up about 30. I'm up about a little over 30 right now. It went a little bit in drawdown. I could have been up a little over 40 pips, but successful morning so far, to say the least. You know how we do, man. I don't let no news, you know, like I said, to each his own. But I ain't never gonna let no news scare me out the markets. So if you in it, let's ride it. I think Kyle called out his GU re-entry too. So hopefully we can go and break those lows. Once we break the lows that pretty much that news formed, I'm gonna go ahead and close probably 50% and let the rest run.
yeah, my plan's gonna remain the same, family. I think I'll get another opportunity to short this market probably next week if this does want to sell off. But I need to see it break below here on high volume. And then once it does that, I'll just short the re-entry, which will probably be back up here anyway. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully these guys get paid today very nicely on these AU, EU, GU shorts. I have no motivation or reason to push the button.
We're gonna ride.
Beautiful trading morning.
Yeah, I should have continued to hold, but I got out of my AUs. Mainly just because I didn't even mean to push the button on AU. But still, it played out. Shoot. It played out. I'll take that. Let's see what I'm looking at now. Because I'm really looking at this GJ. Is this thing going to continue to go lower? Or is this actually a level that we can potentially bounce off of? I don't know. Let's see.
You want to pull up your charts?
I mean, yeah, you can look at it real quick. Let me see.
No, I said, do you want to pull up yours?
Yeah, I'll take over it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm just gonna move stream over to that real quick.
Let's see. So yeah, I'm just looking to see how we're actually gonna react off of these lows down here, right? Because I'm just looking at the bigger picture here, right? And I'm seeing overall structure. Now, again, this could very well continue just because we have been, seeing a lot of momentum, right? And we technically never created a new high neither. So this could very well continue, but I also am just looking at where we're currently at in terms of price. and I'm taking into account that, man, okay, we just swiped these lows. We ended up closing back above the range, above the structure. Is it possible now, right? Especially coming to lower time frames, right? Is it possible for this right here to hold and possibly give us a move back up? All right, now again, I'm on the smaller time frame, right? 2 minute, 1 minute time frame, guys, when I'm trying to read this, right? So I'm just gonna be patient. I'm gonna see what the market gives us. Again, I think that there could be, but this could do either or. It could continue dropping, but I'm also very interested to see how we actually react off of these lows right here. So I'm not taking anything just yet, by the way. All right. If I do take something, I would need to see, I would need to see like a real strong reaction off of these lows for me to actually go ahead and jump in. But we'll see. All right, we'll see. I don't know. Just taking a look at things right now, trying to set up an opportunity. I'll see it if one actually logically ends up making sense for me. If it does, then I'll take it. If not, then it's cool. I'll still be on the sidelines.
Yeah, this guy Lucas is asking what website were you using to look at charts. We're using an app called TradingView, so you can go to tradingview.com. And then as far as the volume bars, the ones you see currently on Abel's screen, that's the MACD, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, MACD.
Which is what he uses. And then I know you asked when you were looking at mine. This is just standard volume, so just indicators, and it's just literally called volume. There are some more advanced indicators that are part of the paid, but the volume will give you mostly everything that you need. But yeah, we're using TradingView, which is probably the best spots to get your chart sets.
Let's see. Been following you since I am starting to see results since about July when I finally took these markets. Shout out to you, Mikkel. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Let's see. I believe. I don't know. My Discord been tripping lately. All right, so yeah, this thing looks like unless we get like a crazy rebound back up, I'm gonna be chilling on this GJ. All right, now I want to see the reaction, right? Again, if I dropped a dope video, guys, right, talking about the type of technical traders, right? Either a predictive technical trader, which relies on more so previous key levels and pending orders and things like that, and then a reactive technical trader, right? Somebody is actively watching the charts in real time and is going to be reacting to relevant key levels, reacting to candlestick patterns and those things, right? So right now I'm just going to be reactive, right? I'm chilling, I'm patient, I'm waiting for the market to actually give me some type of clues or evidence that it truly does want to go ahead and align with what I think could happen. And if I don't see that, then so be it, right? But yeah, so we're being reactive right now. We're chilling, we're seeing what the market gonna give us.
Yeah, that's a fact. Lucas had a follow-up question. He says, where do I get access to your guys' course? I'm new and need help. So just to answer this for everybody, we all have individual courses, but if you want to learn from all four of us, we actually will be launching the community soon. That's probably the best spot for you to start if you're a little bit on the new side. This way you can kind of get a feel for everybody, and also we can kind of help you through the basics. So just to kind of show you where you need to go for that, you just want to go over to our website, profitsociety.co. I'll drop the link in oops, I don't need the dashboard, I need just the homepage. You can sign up for your free accounts. You could hop into the community with us. You can begin to chat with us. Again, all you have to do is just hit this get started button, and it'll have you create your free accounts. And then I would urge you guys to keep an eye on your email, because either today or tomorrow you guys will get an email about the launch masterclass that we'll be doing. So yeah, if you're super new, bro, the best thing to do would be just hop into the community, and we can start working on some of the basics with you inside of there. But yeah, I wanted to let you guys know also this page will be changing very soon, and you guys will get more information on the community launch and all that stuff, because we are getting very, very close, family. Finally, I know it's been months, but we getting there. We're excited to launch this thing with you guys. And Abel, it seems like you're getting some reactions there, bro, so I want to just make sure you're back on the screen too.
Yeah, I'm watching. I mean, this is again just 1 minute, right? 1 minute time frame, guys. You got to take things with a grain of salt. But we're starting to see a little bit of reaction down at these lows. So if you were to take a jab, again, talking about maybe like a 11 pip risk, to then target back up to the highs, at the very least back up to these highs, possibly if this high breaks and possibly higher. So again, the risk to reward isn't too bad, but even then I'm still personally just watching this, all right, seeing what we can actually get. But we are, again, this is 1 minute time frame, right? You do got to take these lower time frames sometimes, especially the 1 minute, with a grain of salt sometimes, just because, you know, you'll see these reactions just simply because we retested the structure low, and it really doesn't end up holding and following too. So
Yeah, I still think it needs to make a little bit of a fresh low.
yeah,
I think I would just prefer to see push a little bit lower and then give us some sort of new price action to enter on. But I'm still gonna continue to ride out my shorts personally. I do know that the boy Eric said in the chat. I did read the comment. My boy Eric said he still believes that we're a little too early on the GJ shorts, and he does. And again, like I'm with you, bro. Like I feel you. Trust me. Like you're looking at this wick fill, you know, over here, like 162.40. And I feel you, it's definitely logical, but I had to try at the extreme CB, right? As per my rules, bro, I had to try up here. And I even kind of gave some warning that the possibility that this did reaccumulate and pop higher, you know, was there. But I mean, at this point, I'm holding risk free, and if it wants to come up and give us that, it is a potential. There's a lot of sell volume coming back into the market. We are breaking structure, so yeah, I'll continue to hold. And again, my thing with this level up here too is like, if we do grab this, like the reaction off of here would have to be strong. It would have to be really strong because there's a lot of inefficiency. And remember, when there's this much inefficiency, we have to flirt with it, right? We can't play around with this because the more you play around with this, the more you're going to fill it all. So ideally, I don't even want us to come anywhere up here because the risk of it then correcting into like 166 is, you know, is just too high. But I do agree, again, like this wick is a little sus, but you know, again, not every area of liquidity is meant to be taken. Like think of this like on EU where you have that same thing, that same kind of liquidity grab, and then it never came back for it. So I feel you logically, you know, we're gonna see. It's gonna, at this point, you know, it's out of my hands. It's all up to the market here. But I do agree, bro. I see what you're seeing. It's just not every level is gonna be perfect. George, can you drop a list of your top 10 coin picks in crypto? I really can't because again, I haven't been doing deep research. So like everything I'll be basing it off of is just things that I like from last cycle. So again, wait for the boot camp. We'll spend 3 days going deep into everything. And then ask me after that when I'm back in my research mode. Thank you, Bitcoin Mommy, for saying congrats. We're super excited to get things launched. Don't even feel like months, to be honest.
Yo, that
Yeah,
whoever
that's a fact. It doesn't feel like months.
whoever took that GU with Kyle is up a bag right now. Oh my goodness.
Yo, we're up like maybe a 1-7 right now. No
Yeah, it's like
cap.
Yeah,
it's
the
like
EU
it's like
retest to the OB was nice. I kinda
1-7,
wish I
man.
up like 100 pips, almost around there, depending on where you entered.
Yeah,
100
we're talking about it
pips.
more or less here. So on EU, you would have been looking at, depending
Are
on
you
where
guys
your
still
range
mad
is.
at me for the 10 pip loss?
Kyle, real quick, do you run your stop loss on? So if you look at my screen, do you run it on the wick or do you run it on the candle? Just so I can.
I run it on the wick.
Okay, so do I. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is so EU. If you guys took EU with him, you're up about
No,
almost
it
a
was
1 to
GU. It
3.
was GU. It was GU.
Well, I was gonna do both. That's what I was asking.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
GU obviously, yes, this is performing way better, and you did say was the better one to trade. But again, even if you got a late entry down here, we'll just assume that you got a worse entry. Yeah, the wick on this is not as high, huh? It's running to a 1 to 4, so yeah, very good day. Again, you know, these fade offs, like we said, on a technical level, looked very nice. So, you know, it's
So-
eating some of my profits, but I'll live.
That's 100 on GU, 80 on EU, or
And yeah,
on AU. So
yeah.
that's a good trading day if you ask me.
I hope you guys
if
forgave
you
me
took
for
all
the
3,
10
you
pip
definitely
loss.
eating good.
That's all I care about.
Assuming you took a 0.5% risk on each, you're probably up a good 4%, 5%. With a 1.5% risk, so definitely not bad. Shout out the boys. Love to see it. Actually, let us get some 7s in the chat if you guys are actually in these and making profits. Just so we know. Just so we know. I just like to see the names of the people that are up with us.
Hell yeah.
Let's
And
see,
tag
let's see, let's
tag
see.
Profit Society, me, Ray, on any trades that you guys got.
Let's see. Who we got making money? We got Easy Pip Sniper, we got Ron. Got Bitcoin Mommy, we got Linda, we got boy D Warner. Closed with $450. Look at that. People already kind of closing out. Yeah, there goes the Newswick on GU.
Hey man, take your profits. If you up 1 to 5, 1 to 7.
We got Rel, we
that's-
got Renato, we got Tammy.
good.
Yeah, if you guys are happy with the money, feel free to take it. I would say though, you can definitely squeeze more out of these positions. You could just go
These
break
could
even
be some
and chill.
swings.
Yeah, break even and chill, man. Just don't be in a rush to close stuff out.
Sheesh.
If you have to close out because you passed your challenge, stuff like that, we get it. Trust me, that's a different situation. But if you're not in that situation, you look at the 7 still coming in. Beautiful. Some of you guys are lagging behind a little bit. But it's all good.
Kyle, where are you targeting, Kyle, for your GU?
The floor. No, I'm kidding. Bro, honestly, this thing could clear all the imbalance all the way up to 1.950. 1.950.
1.19.
Yeah, well, yeah, 0.1950.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
And that would make it a 1 to 17 trade if you hold
Man,
that
take
up.
it to 184, bro. Just take it to 184, bro.
I'm listening to you, Wall Street. I'll take it to 184 if that's what you're doing.
Close.
That imbalance is capped, bro. I feel like it's gonna break the low.
Wait. What are we even looking at? What
I think
pair are we looking at?
GU. I think I know why you're calling it cap rating. Correct me if I'm wrong, bro. All right, just because we seen the low create and instantly we just seen this thing completely shoot up. Really wasn't no what you would consider a hezzy or anything before that, right?
Essentially, yes.
The basic standpoint, got you.
Yeah, there's no real
Why would you even
internal
close
range
it, though?
liquidity
Just-
in the imbalance. So
Yeah.
So what you're saying is don't close at all.
I feel like it's gonna get destroyed.
Target to here.
But I mean,
Make
obviously,
it simple. Target to just target 116.50 on GU and target 101.60 on EU. Because Ray's right, all these lows are gonna probably get wiped if the move is serious. So you might as well
Yeah.
just shoot. Just again, like take your partials wherever you want to take your partials and just hold and see what it gives. Don't put heavy expectations on things. Remember, imbalances are a reason to take some off the table. It's not a reason to reverse your position. Depending on who you listen to, but I feel like a lot of us are in alignment with that.
It's a bar, low key.
Yeah, I mean that's how I use imbalance. Like people that use imbalances for entry, kind of confuse me.
especially
I
the big
literally
ones,
had
bro.
Jordan show me why how he uses them, and I still don't prefer it. But to each their own. You guys again, you all know what your account balances can handle. You all know what your patience and discipline can handle, and go from there.
I don't
It's
trust
such a
those
good
big
entry
ones.
though that like I wouldn't, especially on AU and GU. It's such a good entry that it's just like now is the time that you guys should be taking maybe 50% off and holding the rest.
Yeah, just in case these wick fills.
Yeah, I
Produce some
did personally just take 50 about 30
Yeah,
seconds.
take your
Listen,
intraday profits.
if-
Kyle recommends 50. I would probably recommend 30 because I like to let more run. But yeah, if you guys haven't booked a little something on these things yet, you're crazy. I would definitely. I mean, you're already running above 1 to 3s. So once your trade hits like 1 to 3, 1 to 4, as for my trading plan, I always skim a little bit off the top.
Always gotta pay yourself. That's the damn.
Yeah. Don't let the banging trade come all the way back without taking a little something. It's also easier to hold when the pullback happens if you've already paid yourself. Right? Just from like a
That is
mentality
facts.
standpoint, it's
That's a
always
big
easier to hold. Because otherwise you'll be stressing. Like it'll come back and you're like, oh man, like I just gave all this back. But like if you already took some, the market can't hurt you. So, yeah, just make sure you guys pay yourselves a little something.
As a fact, the whole point we're trying to say is do not let a winning trade turn into a loser because you ain't closed nothing.
Yep, and a break even, by the way, break even is a losing trade because you're technically wrong. I don't care if it shows up as blue as your MT4. It's a break even in my book is a losing trade, especially one you don't take profits on.
I mean, break even depending on your broker is still a loss with the spread.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, spreading. I mean, yeah, exactly.
That's still a loss. It's still gonna show up red. Yeah, but definitely around these levels that we're at now for GU guys. Again, this is definitely Kyle's trade for sure. Called out an absolute banger. But now that you're up so much, you gotta do the smart thing. Pay yourself. Let's see.
Trading is so much easier when you let go of fundamentals. I'm just kidding.
Just remain logical. Use both.
You know what's crazy? Trading was so much easier last year because of the fundamentals.
yeah, yeah. We're all gonna have different experiences.
Like last year was so predictable, it wasn't even funny. Like the whole year we were right, calling it out the entire year. Like we was calling out every move. It's just now it definitely gets a lot harder to read the fundamentals now, because now we're seeing a lot of data that could be calling the shift in what we experienced last year. So this is where it starts getting a lot more difficult and why you should probably rely on some technicals just so you understand what the structure is doing.
Yeah, see that Easy Pip Sniper said risked 1%, which was $100. He closed 226. He's floating 200. So you see how that works out, family? He risked 100. He closed at like a little bit above a 1 to 2, but he still has another 1 to 2 running. So he was up a 1 to 4, closed 50%. Yeah, it's a beautiful money management. Like, listen, always skim a little bit off the top. You know, you may, like, if it continues to absolutely sink, you might be like, I wish I didn't do that. But then there's always going to be the situation where you're like, I wish I'm thankful that I did. So, just, again, there ain't nothing wrong with making $226 in less than an hour and a half. I mean, you let me know a job that lets you do that, and I'll go get qualified.
Oh, I missed GBP CAD. No.
Martin says, do you guys have any suggestions on how to make a trading plan? I see it's very important to have one. Or do you have? I mean, technically, all of our courses are trading plans, but how to make your own, man? Like, you just need to, like this is the steps you would take as somebody completely new starting from fresh, right? You would, one, learn as much as you possibly can from whatever sources you prefer, whether that's free, paid, it's YouTube, whether it's baby pips, right? Whether it's a core, who cares, right? You just soak up as much information as you can on all different styles of trading. Then you pick the one that resonates and makes the most sense to you, that you can see actually working on the charts. Then what you do is you write those rules down, all the things that you would like to see, right? So all the confirmations that you've learned. Then you take those confirmations, you put them in a list, then you go hit the markets, and every time you get all those checkpoints, you take a trade. Then you document how that trade worked, right? What was the result? Did it work? Did it not work? Did it work only for a little bit? Did something change 8 hours after you took the trade? Or you document everything that happened with it. You do that over a course of 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 trades, right? However long you feel until you have enough data. And then once you have enough data, you can go back and see if it's profitable, see where your mistakes are. But it's really just about, again, learning as much as you can, building a checklist of confirmations, based off those places that you learned, collecting data to see how it works, and then making tweaks. It can sound like a very daunting process, and to be quite honest, it kind of is. It's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, that's what you have to do in order to get profitable, right? You have to have a systematic process. So, we all have systematic processes. Everything that we do is because we've experienced it in the market, what's probably hundreds of times. Like these live OBs here that Kyle played on EU, like we've played this type of setup so many times. We played it in times where it doesn't work. We played it in times where it does work, and we know that more times than not, if you're playing it in the right zone, that it does produce worthwhile entries. And again, that's because we've collected the data on it. So, again, that would be the correct answer. Like, again, just consume as much content as you can, build a plan, follow the plan, tweak the plan, and you're going to be doing that for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years. We still do it today. We still tweak our plans. Our plans are never done. Always making little adjustments. That's how you stay ahead. Easy Pip Sniper says, I'm buying all y'all courses this year. If you know you're gonna get everybody's and they're gonna be roughly around the same time, hit us for like a package deal. That's all I'll say about that. We definitely appreciate you, my guy. Man, we appreciate you being a good student as well. Like, we see the same faces all the time. Obviously, there's new faces. We hope to see you guys more on the calls as well. But for those of you that have been here for the past couple months, we definitely love and appreciate it, man. We hope you guys been getting nothing but immense value from us. Abel, if you're thinking about GJ buys, you should be consider watching it formed a nice low. Okay, I think somebody's telling you that a new low formed on GJ.
Yeah, it did. I'm still watching.
Period.
I'm seeing what happens. Honestly, I'm just gonna be chilling on the sidelines right now until I get a little bit more evidence that the market's getting ready to make a move.
Yeah, it's made this new low, but it still hasn't. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep riding my shorts. I don't think I want to hedge this one today. It is just a transitional period right now for fundamentals. Yeah, that as well. You are in a fundamentally you're transitioning right now in terms of fundamentals. So it is a little bit of a harder period of time.
Oh, 100% it is.
So to say.
This is where you got to rely on your structure. You know what I'm saying? Go back to, your technicals and just rely on that until the fundamentals are a lot more clear as to what the Fed is about to do.
See, Cozy's still waiting for that 800 on Ethereum. I'm sorry to tell you, you're never gonna get it. It's okay, bro. I'm waiting for it too. I'm just a little bit more pessimistic about the fact that we're never gonna get it. But yeah, if we get an $800 Ethereum, I'm buying all the Ethereum that's for sale. I'm just curious, how long do you guys trade and how old are all of you? We're all different ages. We're between like 20 and like 30 for the most part. And then how long have you been trading? I've been trading 8 years. Abel's been trading 8 years. Kyle and Ray both have 5 or 6 years, depending on when they specifically started. And how long we trade each day. I mean, we usually go live at 8:30. Usually trade till 10:30. I mean, obviously we do stuff off stream, but we're I mean, when you have 8 years in the game, it's, you're kind of in tune when you should be at the market. So, but I spend a lot of time on this, if I'm gonna be real. How long will the market keep being choppy? I mean, bro, the market's not that choppy. I mean, like, this is all choppiness because I was waiting on CPI. Now CPI is hit, you're really not in that pent-up mood. But, like, you gotta understand, when you have big news for the week, you're gonna get this. Like, I told you guys on Sunday and even on Tuesday, I'm like, I don't expect much until Thursday CPI. Because, again, the market is gonna sit and wait for the news. So it's like, whenever you have news, you gotta expect, like, a choppy week. If you have interest rates on Wednesday, Monday and Tuesday are probably gonna be a little bit slower unless, they're playing some sort of rumor. But you gotta have the patience, man, with the market. Like, the choppiness should subside now, though. Cool. So it's past 10. I don't think I'm gonna take anything else. Kyle, do you have any final updates on these other than just going break even and letting them ride? Anything you want to say, Ray, about the trades you guys are in?
Let that thing run, man.
I'll second that.
Very simple, straight to the point.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, that's
I'm taking.
More needs to be said.
But to be more specific, real quick, I'll probably close around 70% at 6723. So around 6723 on AU. I'll close most of it, but outside of that, I'm gonna hold this thing. I think I can get potentially, best case scenario 800, but maybe 400 pips. So that's my ideology. This will be a swing trade for me. Outside of that, I'm good on the day. Hope y'all have a phenomenal day as well. And I'm out.
Yeah, so I'm going to just answer these last questions because I see there's a few people asking about what the course is. So listen, first and foremost, I'm only going to go on a little sales pitch because y'all asked, right? Second thing, you guys are going to get all the information you need specifically on January 20th, right? You'll get an email if you guys are a member, if you guys are on the mailing list, right? If you have your free account in the community, which is always going to remain free, right? That community account will always be there. The Discord will always be there for you guys. On January 20th, you will be able to join the community itself, the premium community, which I know a lot of people have been waiting for. In terms of courses, again, all of that will launch on the 20th. Some of us are already existing in that. Actually, I think all of us are. So if that's the case, just DM us individually. I will let you guys know, though, on the 20th, the price will be, more or less around that $1,000 mark for every single one of us, right? We're all going to have the same price, right? We all value ourselves at the same level, so we'll all have the same price to make it, fair, easy, and relatively cheap for everybody to kind of grab. But I do know that, like, Kyle has his, Abel has his boot camp, Ray has his stuff that's still up, I have my stuff. So if you want it cheaper than that $1,000 price tag, just DM us individually for whoever's you want, and we'll get there. And I'll just put everybody's IGs on the thing, and you guys can DM. So if you want me, just @byskag. Abel, which one are you using these days, bro?
My regular. It's Abel Melendez.
It's Abel Melendez.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to shout us out and follow us again, you guys you don't have to DM us just to purchase. You could just DM us to chill, or at least me. Kyle, what's it? Kyle Hustles. There's no.
Yes, sir.
Right? So y'all could DM us here again if you want it, pre-launch price, because we all have pre-launch pricing. But once we launch, it'll all be on the website, and you guys can go through the actual company for it. But yeah, here are the IGs, guys. You guys are more than welcome to follow us, even if you're not going to join the premium. As you guys know, we're always about the free value as well. We're always going to still be here on YouTube. We're always going to still be doing the Sunday calls. We'll still be in the community. I still drop all sorts of stuff on my story. So do all these other boys. But yeah, family, more information to come on January 20th. Just keep an eye on your emails. Like I said, it's probably going to go out either today or tomorrow. We'll be doing a whole masterclass that day. It should be between like an hour and 2 hours. We're really going to give you guys just a lot of information. And then we'll kind of get into the launch of the community itself. But listen, family, we love and appreciate you all. It is 10:11. These boys told you again, take those partial profits if you haven't. Enjoy the rest of the ride. And that's all we got for you. So, on behalf of the rest of the boys here, we hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. We will see you guys again here live on YouTube on Sunday, because it is Thursday today, right? It is Thursday. Yep, so we will see you guys on Sunday. We hope you guys have a blessed weekend and enjoy the rest of your day. This is your boy Skag. On behalf of Prophet Society, we are tuning out.